broadcast button on the GoToWebinar control panel to allow all attendees to hear you. This system will notify you once you begin your broadcast. The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good morning, everyone. I apologize for that delay. Thank you and welcome for many of you across the nation. I welcome you this day after our celebration of independence. My name is Tim Lankford, and I welcome you to our every Tuesday at 11 a.m. webinar. I welcome you with the fact of being able to say, I have plans for you. I have plans to be able to prosper you. My plans include not only a future, but I think sometimes even more important than that, a hope. My plans never include anything that would ever harm you. If you're not familiar with Jeremiah chapter 29, verse 11, I encourage you to become familiar with that verse and cling to it, hold to it, and say that it's yours. It belongs to you, and to be able to reinvigorate. If you need any encouragement or anything to reinvigorate your walk, make sure that you get into the Word. That is the absolute utmost best place for you to go for encouragement as well as to be challenged. This morning I want to help you. So much of our business is mindset. I want to help you maybe do a little bit of a paradigm shift. I believe that I'll call it 5 out of 10 just on the weak side, every 5 out of 10 persons that you speak to who have sent in a lead request for information. That's all I see these leads as. It's just saying, hey, okay, I'm interested enough for some information. But I believe at least 5 out of 10 of those that you are able to contact, you should be setting appointments with at least 5 of the 10 that you contact. Now, it may take you 20 leads to find 10 that you can get to answer the phone. The other 10, don't give up on them. You weren't able to reach them the first time. Of course, you're going to call them a different time during the day. You're going to call them a different day. They may be on vacation that week. They may, if they have not put down, some of our leads will come through and it'll ask for a best time to call. If they didn't fill that out, they may be working during the times that you're calling. So anyhow, as you've heard other incredibly successful persons, agents in our system, they're calling morning, afternoon, evening. On the days that they call, they're not just setting aside 2 or 3 hours in the evening and calling that their time to make an appointment. So some of the folks that are on the call right now, I know you guys are successful. From I know we've got Dell, we've got Doug, we've got Mark. These agents are successfully setting appointments because they're calling at different times. They're not setting aside just that small segment of time or just that one day during the week. You heard Matt this last Friday. Remember, every Friday at 11 a.m. we do our agent who's making it happen. And Matt has already submitted, get this guys, if you weren't able to connect on the call on Friday, since January 1, 2016, Matt has already submitted over $150,000 this year in annualized premium dollars. That's impressive. Now, not as impressive if he has only have 5 or 10 or 15 applications, but Matt averages 5,000 annualized premium dollars in a week, and his average app count each week has been 3. So let's see, quick math, 24, so 3 times 24, looking at about 75 to 100 applications that he's put in this year. Pretty impressive, especially when you know he's getting it issued. It doesn't do any good just to slap applications up if we don't get them approved. So Matt's doing his due diligence. He is making sure that his clients are going to get approved with the product that he's sharing. I'm going to put in a decree out there because of some of my personal success. Every 10 persons that I speak to, I'm setting an appointment with 7.5 of those. Now, you don't want to see that 0.5 client. It's a messy situation, but you see how the numbers just work out. So approximately 75% of the time I speak with somebody who has sent in an application, I'm getting that appointment set. And I want to tell you that it's not because Tim is just way out wonderful and what a phenomenal guy. I stutter, I stammer, I search for words to say, and yet I want to urge you to hear one word that that I believe comes out with me during my times that I'm sitting with a client, as well as when I'm setting that appointment. That key word is sincerity. No matter what you see on the words that you see on this slide here that I've got up, the essence of a successful phone call, this is the launching pad. Right here is the launching pad. I always recall with Zig Ziglar. Zig Ziglar said, or a couple seminars that I was in with him, and it seems like each time he would do this, he would have the audience just spout out, give me words of who you're looking for. If you're going to hire the ideal candidate, just give me some words of what you're looking for. And you'll start hearing all of these words going across the stadium, or I've been blessed to be in a couple of smaller conferences with less than 100 persons with Zig, and you'll hear powerful words. I want somebody who's ambitious. I want somebody who is focused. I want somebody who is disciplined. And you hear, and he just starts brainstorming with us, and he puts all these words down on the board, and none of them are right here in the essence of a phone call, of a successful phone call. He starts going through and he circles 90% of the words that we, as managers and owners, spouted off to him. And he said, what's the key element of all of these words here? And he said, break them down either to skill or achieved attitude. That was powerful to me. Break them down. Is this something that's skilled? Now, if you're looking and you need an engineer, you don't want somebody that has a real powerful, wonderful attitude and who has a degree in art. Probably not going to make a real good electrical engineer. But find out how powerful that is. No matter what you hear over the next 20, 30 minutes, if you don't bring the attitude and the empowerment, you've got to get into more books. You've got to be listening to more CDs. You've got to be around people who believe in you and who believe in achievement. If you start any phone call without saying, hi, John, you've already started off the wrong way if, of course, his name is John. Some of the leads I've got sitting in front of me, and I'm going to focus really on getting through this PowerPoint, and I'm going to focus, I've got about 10 mortgage protection leads in front of me. We're doing an intro call tomorrow at 11:30 a.m. If you're not a part of the federal benefit program yet, we are putting an invitation out, and not saying that this is a sure thing for you to be in, but we're putting an invitation out depending on what part of the country you live in, depending on if you are able to show up at Meridian, Mississippi, August 1st through 3rd. You may have the invite of joining in with us on the federal employee benefit program. Some parts of the nation has already been closed down. If you're an agent in central Indiana looking to become a part of the federal employee benefit program, you will be told no, unless you're willing to travel about 4 to 6 to 8 hours away for those leads. And that's fine if you've got to know that going ahead of time or into it ahead of time. But my point to all that is, a week from today, I'm going to do about a 10-minute version of what I've got in front of me, what you have in front of you, if you're in front of your computer, what you'll receive over the next 10, 15, 20 minutes through my PowerPoint. Next week, we're going to go over the same thing, but it's going to happen in no more than 10 minutes, and I'm going to spend 20 to 30 minutes just going through my federal benefit leads and trying to catch someone on the phone so that you can hear the difference between setting an appointment with a federal employee and somebody who has sent me a lead for mortgage protection. I always start with the first lead that I'm going to call this morning. Her name is Renaes Lombardo. Let me tell you what I'm not going to do. You see the script right there, the essence of a successful phone call, what basic points I'm making there. I'm not going to say, Miss Lombardo, yes. Okay, right away, I'm setting up myself to say, I am a telemarketer. Or if I'll sometimes err when I've got the next lead we'll call is Michael D. Lillard. I'm not going to call and say, hey, is this Michael? I'm not, even though he may go by Michael. I'm going to default back to most legal. Now, this is a legal name that they've recorded at the county courthouse for their mortgage. Most people don't go by their legal name. I've got Doug on the phone here on the webinar. Doug, I'm pretty sure you go to any legal document and you're going to find Douglas. I've got Chris here. Any line, you're going to see Christina or Chris Turfer versus Chris. Same way with Jeff, Jeffrey. So my point is, when I've got Michael, I'm going to say, hey, Mike, and that's going to be ending with a question mark. When I give his name, he'll go and come back and say, yeah, this is Mike, or this is Michael. And I knew I screwed up a little bit there, and I'm just going to immediately apologize. Michael, I apologize. I've got Mike on my form here that you sent in. My name is Tim Lankford. So I'm immediately going to apologize and say I've goofed up because on the form here, I've written Michael. So be 100% men and women of integrity, but I'm going to write Mike on it. So I'm going to say, hey, Michael, I apologize. I've got Mike on my form here, but this is Tim Lankford. I'm following up with you, and I'll go right into my script. Why am I calling? Every phone call, you'll hear it next week when I'm doing with the federal employee leads as well. Why I am calling. Then I'm going to go right there, number 4. It says get 4 to 5 yeses. Get them accustomed to, and guys, this, I shared with, and Matt really emphasized on this on Friday as well, that we are big into R&D. I mentioned earlier about that engineer. That engineer is going to think of that R&D as research and development. I don't. R&D means to me, rob and duplicate. I hope you see the smile in my voice, hear the smile in my voice. If you can see me, you would see a smile on my face because, guys, I am not a creative person. I am a duplicator, though, and I've done my very best to be around those folks who have the right attitude, who have the right skill set of what I want to do in life. So I've been around multi-millionaires. I'm not making $1 million a year yet, but I have made over $400,000 in a year. So I needed to get around those folks who are making $500,000 to $750,000 a year. I have several friends in this business that I do my best to get them on the phone if I can't be around Rob Jones over in Dayton, Ohio, or Bill Martin up in Lansing, Michigan. I want to be around those folks to take me to my next level of personal income, and I want my life to be emulating similar to other men and their achievements, whether it's as a father, whether it is as a Christian, whether it is a businessman. So let me emphasize that. I'm a robber and I'm a duplicator. So all I'm doing here in number 4 is getting 4 to 5 yeses is exactly what these guys are doing. So I go immediately from there right into my role for our company. Then I offer after I say, hey, this is what I'm doing, and the purpose of why, so I've already told them the purpose of why, after saying offering one specific time, the role for my company is to come out, not do something over the phone, not mail them something, but to come out and show you how our program protects you and your family. Not how our program just works, but my role is to come out and show you the plan that's in place for you. All I need for you is to say it makes sense. Offer one specific time and date. You'll hear that in my next slide, and I'll give you this same PowerPoint. I'll send it to you because I'm going to lock down my visit after I've got them to agree to a specific time. And there it is, guys. Tom? Well, hi, Tom. My name's Tim Lankford. I'm following up on the letter you sent in reference to, in most of our leads, we'll have the mortgage company right there on it. If it doesn't, it's insignificant. I still have their letter that gives me all their information that I need right here in this paragraph. I'm following up my call is in reference to your mortgage with, our first one is with Renee. I'm following up in reference to your mortgage with North Point Bank. It's the protection so there's specifically responder's name with a question mark. And that's probably the best place where you see responder's name. I should put a question mark there. But I'm saying after he says, well, yes, or yeah, this is me. If he said it properly, this is I, or this is he, I guess is most proper. This is he. Well, hey, Tom, go right into it. This is the protection, right back to now my third, fourth sentence there. This is the protection where your house is paid off in the event of your death, or if you get sick. And so it's one sentence. I'm not taking a breath. I'm not giving them a chance to go okay or anything else. Or if you get sick or injured, we make your mortgage payments for you. Do you remember? Now I'm looking for it. Do you remember the letter? I want that confirmation. Now that's the only time that you're asking that question is just like the ones that I have in front of me, they're less than 30 days old. I think I may go back, this one might be a couple months old. I have not been running my mortgage protection lead, so shame on me. So the likelihood of me being the first in with these mortgage protection leads is very minimal. When you get a mortgage protection lead, you do not want to leave them on the shelf for 2 and 3 weeks. You don't want them accumulating. You want to be able to call them, even if you're calling them you've got to call them and set the appointment within 48 hours. But if you're not able, now hear me out with this, please, so important. If you're not able to get to them within 48 hours, I want you to still call them and say, hey, I am following up with this. I'm visiting with some families on Saturday of this week and Monday of next week. So if you're going to go out that far, I'm going to give them 2 different options. And I'm always, after they say, oh yeah, I can visit with you for a few minutes on Saturday, I'm always going to come back and I need at least 10 to 15 minutes. So I'm letting them know that here. But anyhow, go out to when you can sit with them. But remember, if you can't sit with them, don't do like I did here, and I've not called and spoken to these persons. My attention's been distracted a little bit, but in a positive way. It's been wonderful to be able to help our federal employee agents get up and running there, but I've been distracted to the point of not taking care of the people who have asked me for information. So do better than your presenter this morning. Get on your phone, call them within 48 hours. Now you're looking for those 4 to 5 yeses. You see the last sentence in that paragraph there? I just need to confirm a couple of things on this letter. So after you've got them, do you remember the letter? Even if they say no, that's okay. Don't let that sidetrack you. Yeah, no, I really don't. Because, this is 2 months ago for me. They may not remember that all we're looking for is a phone number, best time to call, and your age. That's it. That's all we're looking for on these leads. Some of our lead companies, if you remember from a week ago's presentation, and I've got word back that a couple of you have not received some items, so I will resend out last week's presentation with this phone script with the lead companies, because I'm still falling in love with a couple other lead companies besides just Gordon Marketing. So don't hesitate if you're going to use Main Street Power Mail House. Fantastic company to be able to use. I'm starting to side a little bit more with their lead because they're asking for a height and weight and smoker status. You know, if you've got somebody who's filling out all that information, wow, you really got something. Here, phone number, best time to call, and buyer's age. So it can take just 2 seconds. Oh yeah, here's postage paid envelope. I can stick it in. My point to that is I still have a viable person here to call because they have taken the time to fill out even just that basic information. But that basic information is filled out by less than 2% of the nation who receives these letters. So understand when you, oh, what is that silly movie? If somebody remembers what I'm talking about, go ahead and type it in your question box and send it to me. But I love it with, was it with Jeff Baldwin, who came in and he was the manager, and he was going through and talking about coffees for closers. I love that. He was talking about these leads. These leads are gold. You want to make sure that these leads are gold to you and me. This lead here is somebody who's in less than 2% of the nation. 2% of the nation has filled these leads out. So when you're getting this information here, your name is, so these are the questions and these are the yeses that I'm getting. Your name is, okay, you gave us the number I called you. Is that the best number to reach you at? Okay. And I've got the age down here as a buyer's age. I'm going to tell Renee, age 53. What's your date of birth, Renee? And if you get a little bit of pushback here, it's unimportant. Well, why do you need to know that? Oh, it's okay. I just wanted to make sure that I have your age down correctly. This is for your benefit. If you're closer to age 54, it's a little less money. Or excuse me, if you're closer to age 53, sometimes, not always. Remember with Phoenix, Mutual Omaha, Foresters, it doesn't matter. It's attained age. But sometimes it's a little less expensive, so I just need to verify, make sure I've got your right date of birth. And then your co-buyer, on Renee's form here, there's no co-buyer listed. Renee, even if you just have a significant other, so don't say, are you married? Hear what I'm saying. Renee, is there a significant other that I should get some information in your hands about mortgage protection? And if Renee is a woman, it doesn't say on this. And on the other lead form, I do like the fact that it says male or female too, because Renee could be a guy. There's another one in here that Barbara's pretty easy, Danny's pretty easy, Robert's pretty easy. That's going to be Bob. I don't know, Adenike, whether that's male or female. I'm going to go with male, but and Boniface. Anyhow, you see my point. Don't just say your husband. Even if it sounds like a female, go with my line I just shared there. Do you have a spouse or a significant other that you would also like to have some information about helping them with mortgage protection? Even if he or she wasn't listed on the form, and even if you're talking specifically to a female, still say he or she. Again, trying to be as politically correct in this age we're living in, get beyond all that crap and just look at protecting Renee. Whether Renee has a husband and Renee is a guy is insignificant to me. I'm not, I love the little thing I sent out on Facebook where it had a picture of Jesus and with all the children around, and it says, what part did you misunderstand, in real big capital letters? I never said hate them. I never said turn your back on them. I never, I love that, because some of our zealots out there will be foolishly looking in the wrong, when they sent in a mortgage lead, guys, I'm not there to convert them, him or her. Ideally, absolutely, I would love to. But I'm there to take care of what they've asked me to be there for. So be careful on your being too much of a zealot, being too much of a you're not here to be a preacher with these folks. Share. I purposely make sure I let them know where I stand somehow in the process, whether I'm talking about what a blessing this is, or if they're local to the area. Oh, so you're new to the area? Have you guys found a church? Anyhow, I still bring it out, but bring it out in an extremely non-offensive way. I don't need to probably share with you guys on the line. You understand that. Important to know all of that whole diatribe of 5 minutes. Probably one of the most important questions on here is co-buyer spouse's date of birth. Don't do a one-legged appointment. One-legged appointments do not work. You're not going to get any table to stand for any amount of time on 2 legs. Not unless they have a huge base to those 2 legs. But you put two small pool stick size legs underneath a flat board, no matter how you position those 2 sticks underneath that flat board, you're not going to get it to stand. However, you put a third one there, it's over. That co-buyer spouse, significant other, is that third leg. If he or she is not there, it's over. I cannot overcome, well, I've got to show this to my spouse. I've got to talk to my boyfriend. I've got to talk. And sometimes when I have had a real young person, when they bring out dad, it's over with too. Because if there's a third person there that is going to be dependent on whether the person you're speaking with is going to make a buying decision, you can't overcome that. So important line. And then I'm going to verify, and I've got here, see on our leads here, it says mortgage amount for Renee is $100,500. So I'm going to bring that up on Renee. If we are able to speak to Renee on the phone, I'm going to bring that up to Renee. And I've got your address as all right there, all incredibly, incredibly important. My role for the company is to go over these options with you and significant other and give you a customized quote. We only need about 10 to 15 minutes together. I have 3 o'clock available tomorrow. Does that work for you and John? Real important. I gave them one specific time versus, now tell me if this doesn't sound like a telemarketer, guys. I'm in your community over the next 2 or 3 days. I'm sorry, I'm going to, for dramatic effect. I'm in your community over the next 2 to 3 days. Is morning, afternoon, or evenings good for you? I give them one specific time, one specific day. There's a very specific reason for that. If I get them to answer that question, it's over. No, we're not available tomorrow. Guess what they just did? They're not, no, I'm no longer interested. I'm too busy. They've left. I've got all those objections out of the way. And now all I've got to do is find the right day and the right time to sit with my potential client. If you have not implemented that, make sure that you do. Try it. It works for me, guys. I want you to help get you to set a higher percentage of the people that you speak with into appointments. Set the appointment, or if that time doesn't work, ask, is it better earlier in the day or later for us to get together? So in other words, so 3 o'clock doesn't work for you. Well, I've got a couple spots open earlier, and let's see, it looks like a couple spots open. You may not have anything else in the day, but you may be either filing your nails, you might be getting gas in your car. The point to that is, do not make it sound like you have all the time in the world available. The surest way for you to not get your time respected, the surest way for you to have a no-show is for you to be flippant about your schedule. when you call up, I want you guys to think of yourself as the doctor, as the mechanic. My goodness, I've had a couple mishaps with my car here in the last few months. I want you to think of yourself as that auto body shop. Anymore, my goodness, I remember in my younger years, I could just drive up to any body shop and say, hey, I want an estimate. Oh, okay, we'll come out. Oh my goodness, not anymore. I mean, they are really scheduling this. Whether they're busy or not, maybe they figured out, hey, wait a minute, if we pretend we're not busy, they're not going to come to us. You try to get to your doctor, and the very first thing that they're going to say is, they may ask you, when do you want to come in today? They may laugh at you. Well, we'll have an appointment. Let's see, we've got one available for next Tuesday. And the more specialized, and see, you are a specialized mortgage provider, a protection provider. You are specialized. Guess what? If you need to get in to see a heart surgeon, you need to get in to see any specialist, it even gets worse for as far as you trying to set that appointment. Become a specialist. Make every effort to come across as, my schedule is incredibly busy, but I'm going to carve out some time for you. Here's a few crucials. Don't go beyond that 48 hours. If you have to call just to lay the groundwork of, hey, this lead, you are mine, even though you can't get to them because, you know, you're running leads you're in central Indiana and you're running leads in Nashville, Tennessee or Cleveland, Ohio, 5 and 6 hours away, then I'm going to call them now and say, I'm visiting with some families on Saturday. How does that work for you? Have a backup plan when Saturday is not convenient, but go right back to, I've got a 2 o'clock available on Saturday. How does that work for you and your significant other? No, Saturdays aren't good for us. Don't go into and start offering Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. You're taking away your empowerment. You're taking away your power level when you start to sound almost desperate to set that appointment. So now you're coming back and say, what day of the week is better for the 3 of us to sit down? Verify both. Number 2 there. Verify both. If there are 2, will be present. No one-legged appointments. So crucial is number 3. Lots of crucials here, but number 3 probably ranks as one of the highest. It does no good to take this much effort. Even though I don't want you guys on the phone, time yourself. Your best appointments on the phone are less than 2 minutes. I had a good mentor in this business who said, nothing good happens on the phone except, and I know so many of you on the phone right now or on the webinar now, you know what I'm going to say next. Nothing good happens on the phone except when you set the appointment. Straight up, period, down, lock it down. Nothing good happens on the phone unless you've set that appointment. You don't want anything else to happen on the phone. You don't want to talk about children and grandchildren and pool time and busy summer. Get off of those subjects as quickly as possible and because these folks, especially the ones who are lonely, looking for somebody to talk to, you are not somebody who wants to talk to somebody over the phone. Lock it down. Hey, my GPS does a good job, but sometimes it needs help. What's a major intersection closest to your house? Use that exact line. It works, guys. My GPS does a good job, but sometimes it needs help. Think of, help me with the closest major. Now, they may say Timbuktu Street and Moore Avenue. Go back to a major intersection. I'm doing this because I'm letting them know each one of these steps are crucial because I'm letting them know I'm coming. I'm not going through this much effort for them just to blow me off. As bad as that sounds. Just whew, you're gone. I don't care about you. I'm a doctor, guys. I'm a specialist, and I'm doing a house visit, and I need them there. As I'm driving on your street, is your address on the mailbox or on the house? I'll sometimes use every one of these. Sometimes I'll just pluck 1 or 2. out when I feel like, wait a minute, this is locked down. You're going to get a gut feel. I want you to be able to get a gut feel knowing that, okay, boy, this is really a locked down appointment. Oh, and by the way, what color is your house? If you see I'm in a dark gray car. If you see it driving past your house a couple times, throw something at me, please. Make it soft, but throw something and say, hey, I'm here, dummy. Great. Let me make sure I didn't goof up. I don't like to double book my time. But yeah, you use it in your comfort zone. But I like to say, make sure I didn't goof up my time. We said Saturday. What time did we say? Guys, I've got it written down in front of me. I want them to repeat it so that they are confirming in their, things aren't locked down in stone until you are verbalizing them. You hear all these PMAers, the positive mental attitude. I believe they're dead on when they're saying you've got to speak your future. You've got to speak the attitude that you want. If you're just thinking it and writing it, and some of us don't even think it, but when I'm waking up in the morning, instead of saying, God, it's morning, my attitude is, God, good morning, big time difference, but I'm speaking it. So please take that for everything that it's worth. Book minimally every 2 hours, 8, 10, 12, 2, 4, 6, and 8. When you've got, that is a full day for me. I love 7. Is that 7? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I always say 7. I wanted to verify that. I love 7 appointment days. Don't get them that often because usually it's 3 or 4, but I won't go out on a day's worth of appointments. I will not travel more than 15 minutes from my home if I don't have at least 3 booked. I'm rescheduling those for the next day or the next time I'm going to be out. Handling a few objections, and then I want to quickly get over to, since we started a few minutes late, I apologize for running later because I want to get to a few phone calls here at least. I don't remember any sending information. Guys, I'm not going to go into objections. Maybe I'll take a few more minutes there next week, but I want to get to some phone calls. There are some don'ts. You're going to get this PowerPoint. Make sure you don't. There are your don'ts. And then I want you committing to your stride for 2016. What's July 1 signify? To me, that signifies just part 2. So make sure you're committing to your stride. Okay, I'm gonna put Renee, and this is live and in person. We're not this is a live person. So when I'm in a conference setting, I always say, please don't laugh. If I sound like an idiot on the phone, that's okay. But don't you guys laugh. But I don't have to worry about that here because you guys are muted. But Renee is not. So we're just doing this on my cell phone. So hopefully you can hear both sides of this conversation.
Hello, you have reached 291.
I never leave messages. Never leave messages. Okay, let's try now. This is Michael. So we're going to, now Michael's got written on his form. Renee had on her form, best time to call. She put NA, not applicable. So she's saying, call me anytime. So with Michael, he's got 11 a.m. So guess what? We're right in that wheelhouse of 11 a.m. And the only thing I see on here, Michael, he's given me 2 phone numbers. My goodness, sometimes I'll have 3 and 4 phone numbers. Just telling me, wait a minute, they're a little eager to talk to me. Michael is 73 years old. Phoenix will go up to age 81, the day before they turn 81. If it's his wife, I will call her Mrs. Lillard. I don't have her name here. I don't have a spouse down.
Your call has been forwarded to an auto.
But when I have 2 phone numbers like this, it's indicative that he's put his wife on here as well. And she may not be on the mortgage. So it says co-buyer, but it also says spouse. Most people don't put their spouse on this form.
Your call has been forwarded.
If you're building a team, I encourage you guys. This one is Lindsay. Lindsay is 22 years old. 22-year-olds are tough because it's going to be dad or it's going to be, oh, was this not required? I still want to sit with them. And there's no best time to call for Lindsay on this either. Hi, Lindsay.
Yeah.
Hey, Lindsay. My name's Tim Lankford. I'm following up with you on the letter you sent in reference to your mortgage with Ruoff.
Yeah.
This was the one that talked about you pass away, we pay off the house, or you get sick or injured, we make your mortgage payment for you. You remember that one?
Okay.
Yeah. Well, my role for the company is a pretty easy one. What I do is visit with our families, showing them how this program works.
Okay, can I actually call you back? Because I'm at work right now. And I can't really talk on the phone, but I can give you a call back later.
Oh, absolutely. Let me give you my phone number.
Okay.
317 450
Okay.
3662.
Okay.
Hey, will you be around a little bit later on this evening? I've got a couple of families I'm visiting. I've got a 6 o'clock if that works for you.
I actually won't today. I have to go out of town, but I'll give you a call and try to set something up.
I will look forward to it. I'm back with families on Saturday. Does that work for you at all?
Do you say that again?
I am back working with some families on Saturday. Will you be back by Saturday?
Maybe. I don't really know for sure yet. But I will let you know.
Touch base with me. If I don't hear from you, I'll try to maybe follow up with you on Friday to see how Saturday works.
Okay, sounds good.
Lindsay, take care.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Okay, at least we spoke to someone, but understand what I'm doing there. Okay, if I gave her one time, it's not going to work. She's going to go out of town, or I would have said, what is a good day? So I want to go out as far as the next time that I'm going to be sitting with families is Saturday. I'm not going to shake this one off too much that it's not going to work, but understand that if you don't set an appointment with somebody the first time that you speak with them, the likelihood of you setting that appointment, I'll put a percentage of less than 10% of the time will it work. So that's why I'm so eager. Oh yeah, here's my phone number, no problem. But understand, if I don't get at least 3 to 4 no's, I'm still going. If she was really not able to answer her phone at work, if she was at work, then she wouldn't have answered her phone. So I've got somebody on the phone. I need, okay, so you're at work, so I got a no there. Okay, so hey, I'm visiting with some families tonight at 6 o'clock. Will that work for you? I got a no there. Okay, and she's already told me a minute ago, hey, I'm at work, I can't talk. I've got her on the phone. I know if I don't set the appointment now, I've less than a 10% chance of ever sitting with Lindsay. So I'm going to go again. I'm stretching it, but my gut feel said don't go for a 4th one. So I went to a 3rd one and said, hey, I am visiting with some families on Saturday. Will you be back then? So understand, go a little bit by your gut. If you're going to be a jerk on the phone, it's never going to work. I mean, don't go there. But press. Understand that we're going to get no's. Don't think of it as any big deal. I'm going to go with a few more. I know we're late. I try not to go past 11:45, but I'm going to go. I've got another 5 or 6 at least I'm going to dial here. So if you have to go, I understand, but I've got 2 phone numbers again on Barbara. And let's see if Barbara or Mr. Armstrong is available, because I'm guessing that's the 2nd number. That 652-5100 is for Mr. Armstrong. And you know what? I don't want them to answer. I'm glad they didn't. Pay attention to your forms. Barbara has checked for both phone numbers PM. They want to be contacted in the PM. If you've gone a week or 2 weeks and you've called morning, afternoon, evening, or if you've just called when they said evening, then you bet I'm going to switch it up. But this first time going around, Danny Mullins in Greenfield, Indiana, says evening, so I'm not going to call him here either. Robert LaHaye says on one phone number after 6 p.m., on another phone number anytime. So I'm going to dial the anytime number, and that's probably going to be Bob's wife. But that's okay. He put her down.
Hello.
Hi, Mrs. LaHaye.
Hello.
Hi, is this Bob's wife?
Yeah.
Hi, this is Tim Lankford. Bob had put your number down in reference to a letter that he sent in, or you may have sent it in, for mortgage protection with the Veterans United Home Loans. Did you fill that out, or did Bob fill that out?
I did it.
Oh, okay. Well, did you have any questions, or I'll go into what my role for the company is. Most people are just interested in how much it costs.
Most people are what?
Interested in how much it costs.
Right.
Yeah, pretty simple, huh? I've got you guys down there on Middleham Lane in Beech Grove. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay, and age 48 and 53. Are you 48 and is Bob 53 then?
No, I'm the older.
Okay. Well, really easy. This is all strictly based on health and age and male or female. So even though you may be old, or you're older than Bob, you guys will probably be about the same price because females in this business are less expensive. And what I do, I bring out my computer and I show you right on the computer of, you guys can dictate the cost. I've got some policies in place for as low as $10 and others, several times more than that because people wanted more life insurance or they wanted a disability coverage besides just mortgage protection. So I visit with my families in their home and looking to, I've got a 6 o'clock available tomorrow evening if you and Bob are around.
Yeah, he works out of state for a while, so it would be a while before we could even get together with you because he only comes home on Saturday nights for the night.
So is he a trucker then?
No, he works for a construction company. He's on a job in Lexington, Kentucky.
Got it. It seems like I've sat with so many families that either the husband or wife, I've had a few wives that are over-the-road truckers and they don't, make it home to about once a week and sometimes not even that frequently.
Right.
Do you know, is he around this Saturday?
I can't commit to it because I have a concession business, and we were going to do the Beach Road fireworks, and it got postponed, and it may be Saturday, so maybe neither one of us will be home. I don't know.
Very understand. Now I do a few of home visits on Sunday. Does he leave by Sunday, or will he be home Sunday afternoon?
He's home Sunday, but I mean, if it were to have to, I wasn't even thinking about having to come and sit down because with the little time he's home, we have a million things to do, and so I would have to talk to him before I set an appointment.
I don't blame you. I totally understand. If you, may I call you by your first name?
Yeah, that's fine.
What's your first name?
Vonda.
How do you spell that, Vonda?
V as in Victor, O-N-D-A.
Just like it sounds, huh?
Uh-huh.
Very good. Well, Vonda, if you will allow me to do this, I run a pretty tight schedule, but I always love taking time to help folks. Something happens to Bob, it'd probably be beneficial for you if the house was paid off. Is that why you filled it out?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I kind of figured that. If you want to, do you have a piece of paper and a pen there for me? If you would write down my name is Tim Lankford, Lankford,
Okay.
and my phone number is 317
Mhm.
450
Mhm.
3662.
Okay.
Now I've got, if the fireworks don't happen on Saturday, I have a 2 o'clock and a 6 o'clock available on Saturday. Let's pencil you in for one of those two. You tell me which.
What were the times? 2 and 6?
2 and 6.
Probably 6.
Let's say 6 o'clock, and you let me know if that doesn't work. You've got my phone number there. Middleham Lane. I'm pretty familiar with Beech Grove, but I've never heard of Middleham.
It's in Carrington.
Carrington Estates.
Carrington House. But it's off of 9th.
Off of 9th. Okay. So the closest major intersection would be what then?
Well, I'm at the
9th and Emerson?
yeah, well, no, 9th and Emerson, no.
No, that's right, because 9th is going...
Emerson and Grovewood.
9th is going north-south, isn't it? Grovewood.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. When I'm on Middleham, is it Middleham or Middleham?
Middleham.
Middleham. Driving up to your house, will I see the address? Is it on your mailbox and on your house, or?
Yes, it's on both.
Terrific. And what color is your house, Vonda?
It's a tan brick.
Tan brick.
Half brick, half vinyl.
Perfect. Well, part of me hopes for, because we were part of a firework display last night, so part of me hopes that you're not able to meet Saturday because you guys are out enjoying and helping the fireworks.
Right.
But I would be honored to be able to sit with you guys and show you how this works, so that if something happened to Bob, you wouldn't have to worry about the house being paid off. But we'll play that one. I'm sorry?
If you don't hear from me, I would you'd probably be better off to call me before you come, just in case I would forget or something.
Sounds good. I certainly will. Vonda, very nice talking with you, ma'am. You have a great day.
Okay, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, guys, we're going to leave with that one since it's such a late hour. I respect you guys for sticking around this long. We're going to do 10 minutes on next Tuesday on this PowerPoint, and we will go directly into my Fed leads, so that you can also hear some of those, and you won't be surprised, I'm sure, that the essence of the phone call still remains. It's still there. It's still connecting with people with their name, getting their address, and just saying, hey, I've got to go over this information with you in person. And you too. Let's see, I guess sort of maybe one for one, 100%. But if I haven't set an appointment within 48 hours, I was 0 for 1. Even though I've if the fireworks happen, I'm not going to be meeting with Vonda and Bob. But 75%. Make that your minimum level of who you're trying to reach, or to set appointments with once you've reached them on the phone. Guys, I wish you many blessings. 3 things. Make sure that you're always an agent who's making it happen for your income. Please hold up that banner and say, I can achieve the brass ring, especially with the programs and the training that you have available to you. Number 2, make it happen because of your family. You want your family in the safest neighborhoods, in the nicest homes, in the cleanest environments. That takes, number 1, your income will dictate what schools you have your children in, what cars you drive in. Your number 1 dictates number 2, whether you're going to become the number 1 tither in your church, the number 1 giver to your charitable entity that you want to give to. Number 2 will be determined by number 1, and number 3 will always determine 2 and 1. So if you just focus on number 3, and number 3, of course, is making it happen for that family. Make it happen for Vonda and Bob LaHaye in Middleham Lane in Beech Grove, Indiana. If I can make it happen for that family, number 2 and number 1 will always follow. Many blessings on you guys. Thanks for connecting today. I look forward to seeing you guys. If you got the invite out for the Federal Employee Program, we're doing an intro tomorrow at 11:30 a.m. Eastern. It is very basic, so if you're already on the program, you don't want to connect to this tomorrow, but make sure that you are setting the time aside to be in Meridian, Mississippi, August 1st through 3rd, either to become a certified a certified federal employee benefit advisor, what we call a CHFEB, or to make sure that you're in Meridian, Mississippi, 1st through 3rd, to be to be able to be part of the training, the initial training to become an advisor. Guys, go out and have a powerful Tuesday. God bless.